one of the core fundamental distinctions that exist in the practice of nonviolent communication. And that is the distinction between strategies and needs. And I call it differently, which makes it easier to remember, the difference between what we want and why we want it. I'll use Casey's words as an example. She wants to be transparent and courageous or whatever. Yeah, I get it. Why she wants it? Because she wants deeper, more authentic connection. You feel the difference? Okay, why do I want a car? To be able to have movement. Why else do I want a car? Be honest.
To be comfortable. Status.
To be comfortable. What is this thing about status? Is status a need or is status a strategy? Strategy. Okay, so what does status give us?
Control.
Acceptance and respect. I am a valued member of society. Be nice, then people will like you, right? Something like this all of you have heard? So then you learn to be nice and people like you, but you secretly go around thinking, if they only knew. Who doesn't have some version of if they only knew? That's because the liking of us that comes from not being true to who we are doesn't really register as being liked. It registers as, okay, we're doing the dance of all of us being acceptable to each other, but what's really going on? Do you recognize, do you relate to what I'm saying? So, there are 5 things that will help you remember what is a strategy and what is a need. And I'm going to write them. It's an acronym. You recognize this name? It's kind of cute because Plato was all about the world of ideas and appearance, so it actually fits. So it's person, location, action, time, or object. So if one of these appears in what I want, then I can know for sure that it's a strategy and not a need. Why is it important, though? Who cares about the difference between strategy and need? Why do I even care about that? The reason is, at least under the set of beliefs that I hold, that there's an infinite variety of strategies. There is a relatively short and finite list of human needs that we all share. So if we're talking about resolving conflict, if we're talking about having the capacity to really rest in ourselves before responding, all of these things, if I connect to the deeper layer at which the need is, there's much more room happening. Any questions or major ahas that anybody has?
I mean, you're saying you can tell the difference between strategies and needs by these 5 things, but in talking about my needs, because I'm a person, my needs will be connected to those things. So could you speak about that a little bit?
So for example, if I say, I want you to move your car now, okay? I have 3 strikes against me. I want something from a particular person that involves a particular object at a particular time. Do you see now what I mean?
Yes, now I understand. Thank you.
And there's a host of needs related to you wanting you to move your car now. The least of which is that I want to have freedom of movement for my own car. The deeper ones invariably would be about, I want care and respect for myself.
When we're coming up with one need, for me, I often seem to have a couple other needs, and then I have a need to figure out, and then it's an intellectual thing, not a feeling thing, which need I want to focus on now, because the need we focus on at different times in our lives changes depending on what's going on in our lives. So how do we stop what's going on in our lives and just say, well, I have a need for simplicity. Well, I can take that need right now and close my eyes and not connect with anyone. So it's a little confusing how this is a connection process.
Yeah, the thing is,
I'm missing the community.
once you get to the needs, in order to make anything happen, it will require you to develop strategies. It's not like strategies are bad.
Okay.
Strategies is how we live. It's just that you end up having much more capacity to choose when you are fully connected to the why.
Which can change hour to hour.
It not only can change, it will change.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah.
I need help with the definition of just what the word need means, that I can sit with and be comfortable with and say, yeah, that's okay for me to need this.
The word need is a lousy approximation. I would say that it's a placeholder for life moving through us in different flavors, different ways at different times. If you think about it, no living creature does anything other than attempt to meet its needs. The thing that is unique about human beings is that we have the capacity to be conscious of what the needs are and therefore have choice in the matter. And the tragedy is that we systematically make it very difficult for us to do this by the way we train our children. So if you still have the privilege of having children that you can treat differently, consider engaging very differently with what they want. Did I answer your question?